Somewhere in the vast universe exists a region in space where gravity is so strong that it pulls everything within its reach, and not even light can escape it.
How is a black hole created? Well, a black hole is made as a remnant of a dying star. The star gets so big and obtains so much mass that it collapses on its own gravity, thereby forming a black hole.
There is something inherently fascinating about black holes, maybe because they are invisible beasts lurking in space. But where do black holes come from, and how do they form? Black holes are categorized into three, namely the stellar mass black holes, the intermediate mass black holes, and the supermassive black holes. First is the stellar mass black holes. They start their lives as high-mass stars. As these luminous bodies live for billions of years, they eventually run out of fuel. With that, their initial reaction is to burn hydrogen. When the hydrogen runs out, they start burning other elements which eventually fills its core with iron. When the core reaches its critical mass, it collapses inward and explodes, creating a supernova, and then what's left after the explosion collapses into a point of infinite density. Then what is formed is black holes. Next is the intermediate mass black holes, or the what we circle in betweeners. These hypothetical black holes may form when the oldest stars in the universe collapse, or when stars and black holes collide. Although this kind of black hole exists only in theory, there are now dozens of promising candidates, and evidences are beginning to pile up. Then there's the supermassive black holes. Unlike stellar black holes, theories only explain how these black holes form because most of them are too far away for even our most sensitive telescopes to detect. Researchers believe that they were once much smaller, forming as more modest-sized black holes in the early days of our universe. But over time, these objects absorbed gas and dust and merged with one another. Moreover, others believe that these giants started as stellar black holes and grew over billions of years into the monsters they are today. In addition to the three categories, there's another type of black holes that astronomers haven't seen yet but think could exist. These are the primordial black holes. As their name suggests, primordial black holes were born very early in the life of the universe. In that fraction of a second after the universe itself began, space was not completely homogeneous. Some areas that were denser and hotter than others could have collapsed into black holes.
Teacher, when the sun turned into a black hole,
You might be disappointed, but no. It's because the sun doesn't have enough mass to collapse into a black hole. In billions of years, when the sun reaches its end of life, it will become a red giant star and will eventually become a cooling white dwarf star. So to put it simply, the sun will not become any of the three categories because it is too tiny.
Carl Sagan predicted the black hole in 1960, wherein in the theory of general relativity, it states that whenever there's a sufficiently compact mass, it can deform space and time.
But sir, what is the event horizon?
Good question, my dear. Event horizon is the boundary defining the space around the black hole in which nothing, not even light, can escape. In other words, the escape velocity of an object within the event horizon must exceed the speed of light, which is physically impossible.
Black holes are indeed fascinating, and they're also pretty mysterious. There's a lot about them that we cannot explain, but when we do, we might actually unravel the greatest secrets of this universe, or better, even in the other universes.